messing with the basement dwellers. Hosted by your boys Jacob Santoro and Christian Talone.
You're blabbering about unnecessary stuff. Cut it out.
Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button to get all the updates from the channel too.
Tell me what your hand's doing over that button first.
But for now, just allow and shout and kick back, cause I got a fresh one right here delivered to your speakers. Lock in.
Alright.
Episode 8-1. Welcome everybody to the Basement Dweller Podcast. I'm Jacob. With me, unfortunately, is not Christian. He had to work today. That's okay. I will try my best to bring the funny as well as he can. I thought about putting like a little pillow with his face on it to be, but I didn't have the time. But with me today is the singer and the bass player for Louis on Tour. We have repeating guest and new guest. We have Tyler and Shana. Hi guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, of course.
To the new studio.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's just better to have my own place and not some random lady's house,
Yeah.
It's a struggle for sure. Kudos to you guys for having an actual place where you do band
The random
practice.
lady being your mom?
No, that lady too, but also Christian's old roommate. But now kudos to you guys for having do you guys ever miss the home band practice? You guys ever got to all drive to some dude's house?
Oh yeah, that's the goal is to
Actually-
actually go back to that.
Yeah, we're actually I think a month out from that.
Why?
Because it's expensive.
Oh
it's
really?
expensive. Yeah. Yeah. We could save, if we didn't practice in a practice space, then within 3 months we could afford another recording.
Yeah.
It's
We're spending
getting to be-
$400 a month.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So
Is it the same location that
yeah, Francisco's.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that place. I like that place because it's in the middle of danger, but also just hidden away from danger. Did you guys see the 7-Eleven is gone? The notorious 7-Eleven is no longer there on 28th and Indian School. Are you
No.
familiar with it? Are you
No.
familiar with that street corner?
No.
You guys, that street corner has been on Cops and Live PD and Forensic Files, the first 48. Dude, that area is so bad. And
I know Indian School is really bad, but I don't know exactly where that 7-Eleven is. There's I don't know if it's an Arco or something that I
Yes.
stop at on Indian School whenever I get
Right.
gas, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, and right across the
I
street.
might die here.
Yeah, no, seriously. And so I like
There's cops across the that's 7-Eleven, right across the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I was president, I would make sure everybody who works there gets $45 an hour because it's so terrifying over there. But I like
There's
that.
cops across the
Liability.
street all the fucking
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But I like that the practice studio is nice and tucked away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can
That
always
fence
tell
really
it's
protects it, right?
Yeah, but what it doesn't protect from is the feral cats. You
Oh,
think
really?
the crime is bad over there? I've seen the most sketchiest looking cats over there.
I don't
There's
think
a lot,
I've ever
too.
seen
Oh
that.
yeah, a
There's
lot
a
of
lot.
them. I want to take them all home, but I can't.
There's some cute
anymore.
ones that have wandered closer to the practice studio, but you were joking one time when we were passing, we got to take them all.
Yeah, no, I literally was like a Tyler cat, and you just kept driving, and that was the moment I knew
raise a
that
whole
we
family.
couldn't be friends because he didn't pick up the stray cats when I wanted to.
Are you a crazy feral cat lady? Are you just oh, look at that raccoon, and you want to take it home?
Yeah, I think every critter should be my friend. I grew up watching Pocahontas, thinking that raccoons were all just like Nico and just wanting to take a raccoon home. Then I learned about rabies, and that was sad. But
I have to say, and I know that we're gonna get into it, but your guys is so people who are listening, you just finished up a tour. The Midwest Cry Fest, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was a how many city tour?
Okay, so we kicked it off in Phoenix. We went to Amarillo, Texas, 2 stops in Norman, Oklahoma. Next day was Wichita, Kansas. Then we went to Columbia, Missouri, and St. Louis. Every single time I've recited, I've had to remember exactly what dates,
Yeah.
where we stopped. But
You
it
guys-
was also the span of 10 days, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys had the cutest travel companions ever. I saw 2 corgis on the bus.
no, so one corgi,
okay.
and then Rala is she an Australian?
I have no idea.
shepherd? Oh gosh, Nick
Who's-
is gonna be like, how do you guys not know?
It's
what
Nick's
that
dog,
is?
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Nick's dog.
Horrible.
I think it's an
friends.
Aussie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I couldn't remember if it was
Australian
if it-
something.
Yeah,
Like
if
herding dog. Of
So
sorts.
cute though.
So
Your
precious.
guys' TikTok post of leaving Tyler at the stop, hilarious. The fucking banana thing killed me. I think I discovered that The best gold mines are found once, like while you're inebriated.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I don't know how many views that has now on TikTok, but I can guarantee you 25% of them are from me. So, you know, people who haven't seen it, it's just you guys being silly on the tour bus and you're just playing banana phone and the camera just pans to you and you're just like, I can't, and it just cuts off.
It was the whole bushel of
Yeah,
bananas.
so fucking funny.
So much bigger and better than Nick's one banana phone. Not that, you know, I was trying to upstage him, but I will always have more bananas.
And
always.
You know, I guess we'll just kind of dive right into it. But I mean, like, how was that? I mean, it's so cool to like hear of a local Arizona band. You guys are out here doing moves. I mean, you guys did a whole tour all the way away from Arizona. Like that's super awesome. And I'll never forget. You know, I went to I think I went to the kickoff show. Was that it with Spilt and Iante and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That was the one.
I almost started crying when you started
Insomniacs.
crying. Oh my God. It was so, for people who weren't there, you really missed out, but it was so sweet. I mean, you guys have such a great loyal fan base and everyone's doing the Louie, and you were just bawling your eyes out. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm going to freak out. Like, this is so cute.
It was one of the reasons that we named it the Midwest Cryfest tour is because we knew that this tour, it was the first for everybody. And that's super rare that we've had projects before, but none of those projects ever went on tour. So we got to have that together, and that kickoff show was super. It was so many good feelings because it was all of our friendly faces finally compiling into one room to just send us off and chant for us, and it felt so good to get that support because once we hit the road and we were in cities where we weren't known and nobody knew us, we were definitely, that safety net was gone and we had to just rely on each other and knowing that, you know, we got some good sauce and we just went out and sprinkled it.
The dichotomy of that night, like the kickoff show was like a real high. And then like
sure.
there was a day in between and then we went to Amarillo, Texas. That was a low.
Why is that?
Because we went from this high to this place we have never been to with a bunch of bands who most of them had never heard of us, and it was also a metal show. Oh, so it was like thrashy heavy metal.
Wow, and you guys.
So we opened and we had tech difficulties and like it was different.
Isn't that the best though? I love cross promotion of just genres that shouldn't go together.
I mean, the night progressively got heavier, so it wasn't out of the realm. It was all rock music, and we were heavy. Then Painting Fences was like more thrashy, like 80s rockish, like Painting Fences.
Oh yeah, Painting Fences. I've been repping
Represent.
that shirt.
Hey, represent.
And
Cool
then
shirt.
the last band was like death metal.
Yeah.
See, like I think Louis on Tour does have this history with. Because we kind of we say genre fluid now, where we kind of have different songs that it doesn't just fit in all one box. So when people will put us on a show, sometimes we get something that's more psychedelic, sometimes we get something that's more heavy. But that actually takes me, or emo, and that takes me back to like our Now Theater show. Where we played the main stage, and we somehow made that bill, and we were sandwiched right in between two really heavy bands, and I can't remember which ones they were, but it was so funny.
I think it was like Worm Fur, maybe not Worm Fur,
or it was like CYCK. Oh man, I feel so bad that I don't remember the names.
CKY? No way.
No, okay. Yeah, no, it was definitely some letters. But my favorite part was
last one was American Standards. They headlined.
Standards.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh,
Okay.
so good. But it was so funny because we watched this crowd just all vibe to something so heavy, and we go up there and we were all kind of sweating. Like I think we even played our tempos a little bit faster that night just because like we were wanting to keep the energy. And I remember I went up there and I was like, "You guys like that heavy shit?" And everyone's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, you're gonna have to wait about 30 minutes. But stick around for us. And hopefully there's something you like."
We have two heavy songs. Hopefully that's enough.
Hopefully you guys are satisfied.
It is a little intimidating for sure. Like I remember, you know, I haven't been in like a band since high school, but kind of the same, not the same situation, but like it was we were supposed to open for a band called Gideon, and I'm not sure if that band still exists, but it's just a metalcore band, cool band. But there was technical difficulties on the actual stage of the Nile that happened the same day, so they literally had the concert like tucked away where like the merch tables are. So like we had to perform in that corner, but then something happened where they had to leave early. So it was the opening band, one more, Gideon, and then us. Like, so we closed the show. Like, technically, like, Gideon opened for us. And it was definitely just like, of course, like when Gideon leaves, it's like everyone just fucking leaves.
Yeah.
So it's just us on the floor of the Nile performing to like our parents and like 5 of our friends. Like, that's the best memories, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's super cool.
Then you could say things like, "How are you two people out there feeling tonight?"
We
you
were just
know?
talking about this in my house, in the house. It reminds me of like that scene in like Yes Man, where it's like she's in like that indie band, and it's just like, "Hey Robbie, hey Monica, hey Susan." It's just like, everyone who shows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's what I always think of when I think of like it's so crazy. Until I saw you guys at Lost Leaf, like I'd never seen like a crowd, so to speak, there.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, I'm starting to think you guys have like just rambunctious dudes on payroll. Those guys love to get down to your music for sure.
To be fair, some of them were other band members.
No, you guys,
Like, some of them played that night.
yeah. I mean, you
But
guys
they
definitely
definitely went hard for us.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
guys, because you guys bring that energy, and I think it's really cool, and it's it gets me excited, And I think that there's bands that go in there and just kind of do their business, and then there's other bands who kind of make a whole theatrical thing out of it. Like I've seen you guys enough now to know that like there's a part where because you play with like a wireless cable, so it's like there's a part where you like to go out into the crowd. There's a break in the middle of the second song where you're introducing people. Like it's like a planned performance. Like that's so cool, and you bring that Coliseum energy to a like max 50 capacity house, literally, for anyone who hasn't been there. I mean, Lost Leaf is a literal house, and just like at the Oasis house, I was just so afraid. I was like, if someone breaks my camera right now, I'm going to fucking prison. Like, yeah, seriously, and I've had a blast just kind of just watching you guys do your thing. And I was super grateful. I was at your Rebel Lounge show, got some great pictures of you guys, and you guys are just all around cool. I was super excited that we finally got to do this. I know that I know that there was a little bit of a delay, but I appreciate you guys just being here. Tyler's been on the show 4 times now.
Yeah, this is number 4.
Yeah, he was on episode 1 for
Number one.
number one with my super cringy intro music that I made by myself, and just
That was like the country one.
yeah, it was it's
Or
folk,
like a
it's
west- it was
folk,
like a western.
sir. Yes, it had
Folky western.
Yeah,
tune.
it was a guitar with a harmonica. That was kind of like my original one, and I
It wasn't bad.
No, that was the first thing Tyler said was like, "Oh, that wasn't bad." Every now and again, like just to kind of humble myself, I always listen to like the first like 3 episodes, and I love ours.
I've gone back and listened
Yeah.
to all of them.
I think you and I have like just good give and take, man. I think that you guys really
beginnings.
Yeah, it's always fun.
It's always, but it's all about just being a cool person, I would like to say in 81 episodes, I don't think I've had anyone who was like shitty.
Until now.
And now we're gonna expose
starts
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob, we got your ass.
Here we go.
But this is
Jacob's roommates want to chime in.
yeah. Oh, I tell them all the time. I said
They're
that,
like, we have a list. We've been waiting.
no, we've all been friends for a very, very long time. And I went to high school with Christian and Courtney, and I met Kaya when I was still, like 17, 18. We've been friends for a very long time. And I always make that joke, like we need to have like a confession room, like Big Brother. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like that would be so fucking fun,
Yeah.
But I could do this all the time, and I wanted to be like, I think about being in a band all the time. Like Tyler mentioned before you got here, because I've just been like posting like TikToks of me playing music.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think about it, but one thing I want to bring up is like, I guess this will kind of segue into like my next question. The reason why I couldn't really handle being in a band was like band politics. Now, granted, the last time I was in like a real cohesive band was in high school, and how in high school we're all fucking shitty. We all have stupid fucking cringe things, and like we think our opinions are better than others. But like when I don't even see that happening in your guys' like I don't imagine like faults or like anger or anything in your guys' band. Like you guys seem like Louis on Tour seems like a very cohesive group. But is there ever like situations like that where you guys feel like you butt heads?
Well,
I mean, it's bound to happen.
it's bound to happen. I think that something that's so important, like to understand about our band and how we came to be was the boys were sitting and waiting on 12 songs, just playing them and searching for the right singer. And they waited for about, what was it, a year and a half, 2 years? I mean, it was a while. It was a dry
I
spell.
think it was 2
and-
years.
No.
Maybe
and when
a
I
year.
came here, I had just moved here and I tried to get into a couple of other projects and it just wasn't gelling. And so when I finally tried out for Louis on tour. What intrigued me so much about this project was they weren't one-trick ponies. Like each song had a different story to tell, and it was so exciting. And so I know that what I found was like a gold mine, and so I'm very careful to protect that. And then I'd like to think that the guys think that they found a gold mine with me. And what it really comes down to is not really any power struggle. It's just communication.
Sure.
We have to get on that same page about like what the goal is. And I think the only point of contention that we ever have is when we are trying to think ahead. And there's like 3 different things that we need to be juggling at one time. And something that's like a superpower of our band is like, we've got one person that's thinking of one thing, one person that's thinking of another,
Sure, yeah.
and we can kind of juggle it. But when we start prioritizing one over the other, that's when things just get like a little hairy. So we work really hard on communication, and it's been like the best relationship I've ever had in a band. I've been in approximately, I would say, I don't know if the one that I'm currently in, it had musician turnover, but I've been in approximately like 6 different bands, and it is really hard to find people that are willing to just lay their ego down and just talk. And I think that that's what's really helpful with our group is everybody comes to the table willing to just set their stuff aside and listen, and then we have a good formulative plan because it's not one person's band. It's 5 people's band.
Yeah.
Whenever there's any kind of disagreement, it's never over like it's not like personality differences or creative differences necessarily. It's more like what, how does this benefit the group? Like that is always the mentality. It's always been the mentality. Like
This makes me feel like my podcast is a coping mechanism because the only person I could dare have on my show all the time is my best friend from high school. Like because if anyone gives me any kind of constructive criticism, I'll end the whole fucking show right now. Like, no, I mean, that's really cool because you guys are a 5-piece band, you know, and so there's a lot of...
there's 5 different inputs on everything.
Right, you know, and so it's like I've come to the conclusion that I almost just want to like Trent Reznor it and I'll just fucking do it myself. Like, no, I do miss playing music a lot.
That's easier, but well, I mean, it's easier like creatively, but it's harder like production wise.
Yeah.
That's like doing this, but like taking it on the road.
Right.
That would be kind of difficult.
Yeah, I gotta find a not expensive hobby. You were geeking out before we started the show about the 40K, and again, Christian's gonna be so fucking pissed that one person, and I guarantee you're the only person moving forward that's gonna say anything because he's gonna be here and no one's gonna fucking say anything.
And I'm gonna gladly keep that title. Yeah, like I'm gonna actually watch the show just to make sure that I'm the only one that said anything about the Warhammer.
No, Warhammer has definitely been mentioned before.
Has it? No. I'm saying because since we've been here, you
Yeah.
know, because we've been looking at like just pieces for the show. Like we just want to, you know, put stuff out, and it's like stuff that likes us. And it was so funny. I'm like setting up, and Christian leaves, and he comes back with his box like of like stuff, and like without saying anything, he's just like just like putting stuff in, and I'm like. I feel like I feel like I'm like a mom. Like I'm like taking care of the kids. I'm like, can you fucking help me? Like he's like, hold on in a minute, and he's all just gently putting everything. Like
The worst part is it's
He's, like,
kind of far
dusting
away,
him.
so you can't really see it.
yeah.
on the
I mean,
camera.
I think it was just something to have. Like I was kind of mentioning
definitely
before
colorful,
we started. It drives me crazy that right now like the walls are blank. Like we have things to put up. I'm just like super fucking lazy. But I was also saying, and you know. I mean, it's not too much of a surprise, but I do want to say that hopefully...
Give yourself some grace, man. Like,
I know.
You're
Dude, I
fucking
can't-
lazy, but you
No.
just did all those photos
I know,
this past
dude,
Saturday.
it's
Yeah,
so
no big
crazy. Hey, this is about you guys, not me. So yeah, don't worry about me.
We got to inflate your ego a little
right.
bit.
It's your show, my
Yeah.
dude. Like, yeah.
Well, we're gonna get a cool little couch in here. We're gonna make it our own space, and that's kind of like the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
I love the show. I love the show just because I love meeting people and talking to people.
Yeah.
I would say that my one selfish like trait for like my entire life is I could just talk for hours. You know, and so
Agreed.
you know, and I can't be with musicians for hours or I'll go fucking insane. You know,
Yeah, we
it's like-
kind of suck.
We're the worst. We're the worst kind of people.
I don't know. You guys all seem like you're just in like just,
Egomaniacs.
I don't know. Like there's
All
some,
the memes say so.
yeah. Do you guys? I mean, we'll kind of go back around this to the end. But do you guys have any kind of like new things in the works right now?
So much.
So
Top
much.
secret stuff?
This
We can talk about all of it.
we can talk about it. Like I said, we talked to the publicist. My publicist.
We got confirmation.
We got confirmation from the other band members because I'm like, what are we keeping on the DL? And they're like, air it out. I was
right,
like, all
cool,
right.
cool.
So last year, about this time, we were doing our first ever music video for NFL Hot Shot.
Great
and that's
song.
up on YouTube. It's magical, and Nick is dancing on a cliff. We all
Mm-hmm.
are. But we are actually taking on a very ambitious music video for the single that we just got the final mix back for, called Shaman Mama. That's one of our crowd favorites. They go pretty crazy for it, and we like
It's
it
also
too.
our heaviest song.
It's our heaviest song so far.
So far.
Until
We got
we-
another one in the works. That's
we
Guys
are
just
writing-
gonna have like a fucking behemoth like phase, just where you just all wear black metal like paint and shit.
Well, I mean, we don't go like based on genre, like album wise. It's more like this song is going to be heavy, and this song is going to be like poppy, I guess. But
yeah.
that's kind of like what we do. We don't want to. I don't think we want to do anything like that, like where it's like a whole album of metal.
Yeah, we're trying really hard to keep in the idea that we want to master different sounding like subgenres.
Cool.
And it really does come down to Nick. Nick is very juicy with ideas. The boy is too juicy. I say he's like a sponge just filled, and you just press him and he just overflows with ideas. He'll just bring us 3 new songs and be like, what do you guys think of this? And they're just at their core and foundation so catchy, so fun. And then we're like, okay, we'll get to work on it. And then the next week he's like, I got 3 more. We're like,
Oh my gosh, that's
too
great.
juicy. He's too juicy with ideas.
That's
but
great. I mean, it definitely seems
It's
like
good,
there's
but
a,
it's also a little bit
Yeah.
problematic.
really get people.
I
that
wish I
excited.
could
we gotta
keep
like
up.
really
Yeah.
choose one.
And it's hard. I think that for a lot of just independent, artists, and regardless of what your art is, it's a very hard thing because you get excited.
Yeah.
And that's like our whole thing too. Like we have a Patreon, patreon.com/basement productions.
Hey, plug.
And we're trying to do like, we could do like, we've been in the works of like doing like a D&D Patreon only episodes. Like once a month, we'll do like a 2.5 hour D&D thing. We get so excited. We're doing, and it's like, I have to try so hard. And it's funny because you're like, you got to slow down sometimes, because that mentality is why I have everything here. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
because I get so excited.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've talked about this topic so many. It's bland at this point, but it's like I've been on many podcasts, excluding Tyler's, that were just like straight up like, I'll never forget. I was invited when I lived in Los Angeles. The guy's like, oh, dude, you should come on my show. We do this thing where we watch like corny 1980s like like horror films, like just super bad. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And you talk about it, right? And I remember we watched the whole movie. It was bad, but you're excited to talk about it. He smokes some weed, and literally he presses like record on his phone and just puts it on the table. And I'm just like, are you
Yeah.
fucking you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy, And
Yeah.
so like, I don't know if you guys ever feel like this, but my whole thing was I want to not only be my best self, but I'm trying to like, in a selfish way, kind of be like, this is why you should listen to my show, because the other person's show that you may have heard of doesn't have the production that I do, but I also
Yeah.
bring other things.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever feel like that you get a little like you kind of just see like the money signs when it comes to equipment and stuff? Like, do you feel like there's someone in the band or maybe as a collective that you always feel like there's something that you need to buy because it's going to be better production? If I can give you an example, like you guys are the only people I know that I are not the only, but like in local shows that you have your own, like you have your headphones in, you know what I mean? Like you can hear like, those
Yeah,
things, like,
in-ears.
so it's like not everyone's thinking about that.
Right.
So it sounds like, do you guys ever have those feelings where you're just like, oh, we got to keep fucking like kind of forking out for this? So we always kind of,
It goes back to that question: is there like a benefit to the group for it?
Yeah.
That's why I bought the in-ears, because I felt like if we could hear ourselves, we would play better.
Yeah.
Honestly, the in-ears have been a little bit problematic.
I've noticed.
Yeah. When they work great. When they don't work, which is more frequent, then it's like, okay, how much time do we spend on this? And if they don't work, then we're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, I think as far as gear goes, like, I like to be obliviously thrifty. Like, I want to buy a thing and then pretend I never have to buy it again.
Well, you're the singer. You're the last person I'd ask this question
Yeah, exactly.
to.
I was like, I'm not the gearhead to talk about, but I will say that like when you said that, the what piqued my interest was like merch. We are always like, because we DIY our merch. We at first we had a couple of shirts that were printed for us professionally. But then we were like, let's just DIY it. And it's honestly what's going to be able to fund our, it's what's funding our recordings. Because when we're at $700 a song, like that money doesn't just appear, and, we're all just musicians and we can't afford to do it. So
Yeah.
merch is always, I'm always like looking for like the next merch thing.
Yeah.
So I'm annoyingly merch minded on that.
We've been joking that we're an apparel company that makes music.
I love that. And I was actually going to tell you guys a story that more than once, because my favorite, like I love this shirt, don't get me wrong. My
Yeah.
favorite is just the white with your name on it. And so,
Really?
yeah, it's just nice.
Standard.
It's simple, nice and clean. Not once, but I would say like 3 times people have addressed me like, or just like, excuse me. I want to say that they know you guys, but what it is they're like, where did you get that shirt? Because they think it's an expensive shirt because it says like Louis on it, you know? And I'm just like, oh no, it's a band t-shirt. But like, I've had people be like, just like clothes stands, you know, that are just like, oh, that's a cool. I'm like, it's a fucking white shirt. Like but like I like it because in a weird way, it reminds me of like Ye's like merch, how he like will just spend like, or you could just spend $200 on a white Ye t-shirt, you know? Like I just love
Yes.
I love the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
But the merch game
That's
is actually
good
a
to
really
know.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean I think that the merchandising thing is great. Like half my closet is local band t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Same.
and I'm not the only person. You know, you don't have to be wrapped up in the local Arizona scene to feel that way either.
Right.
You know, I co-produce every Thursday a podcast called Scaredy Cast. And those guys are the kings of branding. I mean, they've got cozies, they've got stickers, they've got beanies for a fucking podcast. You know, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, you guys have
It's where the money is.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's a really
Tangible
smart move.
products.
You, Shana, you were printing the t-shirts for a while, right? Or-
Yes. So I make the shirts. That first standard, like that shirt that you were talking about, where it's just the black or the white shirt with just Louis on tour. I did have the guys come over. We call it it's my house, but we call it the sweatshop.
Cool.
And the boys did help with that one and getting those screen printed. But I've
Well,
also
the first two, I think so there was the original one with like the box
Yeah.
that has the EP kind of like cover on it, and then
yeah.
the more simple one, we did that one. Both of those were like sweatshop.
and we got it down. Once we got it down to a science, it was
There was a workflow to everything.
it was a workflow. It was a chaotic moment, but
Just doing like the Seven Dwarfs song, you know?
it was just like someone like put the
screen
paint
print,
on,
yeah.
do the thing, and then someone, okay, get the hangers, and then it was so funny because I'll never forget the memory. It was just me, Tyler, and Jesse that first time. And Jesse's job was picking them up, putting them on a hanger, and finding somewhere in my house to hang them. And we're talking like 40 shirts.
Oh, wow.
So there was a moment where Jesse, and like we were still relatively acquaintances at that point.
Sure.
And so Jesse's like, I've run out of places to hang them. And I'm like, I don't got time for this. You know, I'm doing my job. So I was like, just find a spot. And he's like, I don't know, in your house. And I'm like, I don't know, a shower, go in my closet. So he's like in my bedroom, just like, oh, I hope this is okay. And he's just hanging shirts any and everywhere shirts will go.
You know, we're hanging them on like the curtain the like
Oh, the
rod,
chandelier,
the curtain rod.
Oh
yeah, the
I had a little
chandelier.
chandelier. Like we had shirts everywhere. When it is sweatshop season, there are shirts everywhere because I have to hang dry for 2 days before I can heat press.
Yeah.
So they're just in my home and hopefully not collecting cat fur. So
I gotta say though, you know, my favorite thing is with your guys' shirts especially is that it makes me nostalgic for like the old Scene Bean shirts where there's a bunch of shit going on, but I love the simplicity of it. Like I just like how, you know, just boom. And this is Jesse's son, right? That's who Louis is.
Yes. So Louis on tour is named after Jesse's kiddo. He's adorable, like ringlet, blonde, curly hair.
Yeah.
But he's our mascot.
Little
And-
Jesse.
Yeah, little Jesse. So cute.
That's so cool.
Louis.
I mean, you guys are just doing so many things, and like, you know, even though like Tyler and I don't hang out a lot, I mean, I've never had more of a supportive friend. I mean, we both know that we're out here doing stuff. So many things in the work that I still want to do that obviously like it totally involves like you guys, you know, like, again, I think I've said this every single time he's come on the show, but like, you know, like one of my favorite things of all time is like KEXP, like just like live pod, like bands, like interviews. And I'm just like, dude, if I can get like Louis on tour all mic'd up to do like a whole set and then like you just do like an interview, next song, like, and I just get excited. Like I feel like sometimes I'm a cokehead when I text Tyler because I'm just like, wouldn't this be hot? It's like fucking 2 a.m.
That idea still energizes me so much. I wish I had more time for it.
Yeah. You know, because I've, you know,
It'd be so cool.
I don't even
do
want to
that.
talk about it on camera because I feel like someone's going to steal it. But I
Yeah.
feel like
Wait,
Arizona.
are we talking?
But it would be hard to pull off.
So we're not doing it because of Tyler's availability because we can kidnap Tyler.
No, I mean,
Like,
we could do it like as Louis on tour with Jacob. We could totally do it. It was just, it's like we would have to majorly plan it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it would be because I mean, keep in mind we also have to find an event to do it at. You know, we have to, and it's like one of those things where it's like it's not even an event because my whole thing is that I don't want to interview you guys while there's a drunk moron at the bar.
well, that's
Yelling,
the
you know
best
what I'm saying?
time.
I
That's the
disagree.
best-
Oh my God, I disagree. You know, but like there's so many ideas that I have and I'm sure, you know, just like you guys were saying, you know, like your guitarist is just like, I got 7 songs for you right now. That's how I feel like with this project. You know, when it's your baby, you know what I mean?
Oh,
You
yeah.
just kind of just go off the rails.
Hyper focus.
You know, but you got to have friends that also kind of match that energy, you
Yeah.
know, especially in this scene. I'm a huge advocate for, you know, birds of a feather. You know, and it's just like when you have those people who are consistently supportive because they're out here doing things too.
Yeah.
You know, I started doing photography a few months ago, really into it, you know, going to shows and stuff like that. And by the way, thank you for your kind words before the show.
Yeah, of course. We were talking about gear, another expensive hobby.
Yeah, it doesn't stop here. And it's just like the amount of photographers that I've met who have been nothing but cool and just like, oh, like maybe we can do this or, oh, check this out. You know, it's like, it's just a great feeling. I think with how just insane the world is right now, which again is another just, we get it. It just sucks, you know, but it's just like, you kind of need that. You need homies. You know?
And I want to like, and I don't want to speak for the whole band, but I guess that's what I'm here doing. Birds of a Feather definitely applies to a couple shout outs for me is Joan of Arkansas. They were the first band that just kept holding the door open a little bit for us. And it's so funny because now a year later, like we're that band that just, we're like holding doors open because we're like, any and everybody come on down. And it's so crazy to think that like a year and a half ago, like them just giving us that spot at Lost Leaf started this whole thing. And now we're that band. But
Yeah, Details of Eating too.
Details of
Well,
Eating.
I guess they were. I don't remember what they were called before. It was Eric and I don't remember. I don't remember.
But
what,
I know Details of Eating, Wild Giants, and Joan of Arkansas are 3 bands. And there's also another one. Is it Celebration Guns? There's one band in the scene
they've
that
dropped
we
our
keep,
name a few times.
we
No
keep
Lungs
hearing.
too. They've been dropping our name. It's really weird. Like
Yeah.
it's awesome having people out there
advocating for us.
Yeah. Because that speaks more than you just self-promoting.
Oh,
Somebody else is
100%.
promoting you, which is like we try to pay that forward as much as we can. Like
I gotta
especially
tell
with
you-
Insomniacs and Spilt.
Oh,
I've
and
been
Insomniacs.
God.
I've been
and
hardcore
Spilt, yes.
promoting them.
I gotta tell you that when someone who isn't in the band or like a close friend gives you the shout out, like that is like the best because I don't shoot heroin, but that's what I can imagine like a pure rush of dopamine is. Like
Instant
I
serotonin.
woke up the other day to like the Rebel Lounge sharing my photo session with Spilt at the Rebel Lounge, and I got, oh my God, I was just like, dude, I could have the worst news after this. Like I'm so stoked. You know what I mean? Like it's that high.
Yep.
Just
but
like,
you went to that because I told you about it, right?
yeah, you did. Yeah, and then I met them at. Did you want me to pay you for that fucking?
No, I'm just saying like that's how this that's how this works.
Yeah, dude.
Low-key
Oh,
cred,
yeah, you got it. You got to absolutely, and that's what it's all about. Is like, you know, when I was in Los Angeles, I was doing comedy, and I got to tell you, there's nothing worse than just a comedy scene because in that group of people, in my experiences, I'm sure people might disagree, but it's so like, I'm not going to tell you about anything because it's just me out there. And if I tell you, that means I don't get the gig. And so
It's
like
such a like isolationist mentality.
right. And so I've never been in such a welcoming like community, especially with like the music scene and photography and stuff like that. Because I'm just it's like someone who someone who had a bad childhood. It's like you give them, you know, hey, I thought about you today, and I got you this. You're like, what's your end game?
What's
here?
your angle here?
You're trying to
you know,
manipulate me?
right? But
What do I owe you
Yeah,
now?
but exactly like you said, it's like you put me onto that band. I heard for them the first time when I went to go see you guys at the start of your tour, and I got the opportunity to work with them, and it's just been fucking cool. Like I said, homies help homies. You know,
Yeah.
like you have to. You
when-
have to.
When people are like really expressively grateful about it too, like I try to remind them, we are the music scene. We are the music
yeah.
scene. So like us going out to shows, us promoting our friends, or like even people that we see that we feel like are doing good, or like me telling you about events to go to for you to work. Like we are the music scene. We lift each other up. That's how this works.
Right.
If we don't do that, then what is the music scene? Where is it going to go?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And the other thing is that I think is kind of important that just recently, kind of in the last couple of months, I've become aware of is kind of feeding encouragement and, you know, telling other bands, like younger bands that are coming into the scene, when to advocate for themselves. Because something about local music scene and, you know, you want to pay your dues, right? You want to get out there. You don't want to feel like you have to ask for pay.
Yeah.
But, you know, as the music scene, we as the bands, like we kind of can set the precedence,
Yeah.
you know, we can
There's-
say no more free shows, like pay us for something.
Right.
And I will say that a lot of the venues that we've worked with have been fabulous with getting us paid and
Great.
taking care of us. But I will say, just like in casual conversations, even when we were on tour, like some of these kids at the Monica House in, was it Oklahoma or was that Oklahoma?
No, that was Kansas.
That was Kansas.
Wichita.
Yeah, they're just these kids coming into the music scene, and they're so sweet and they're wonderful and they're getting advice from us. But, you know, we kind of find that as being part of the music scene, like one of the conversations we should have is about how to advocate for yourself and your talent.
sure.
And you can pay your dues, you know, get your foot in the door, give them a taste of what it is, you know,
Yeah,
give a free
it's
show
okay.
if you want.
Yeah, it's okay to play free stuff to get exposure, but like you,
Don't feel pressured into it.
if you're trying to build a business,
Yeah.
or if you're trying to build, like you do need money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And that was one thing I wanted to say before we go on break is like people like you, Tyler, and Christian in my life. I mean, I have the weakest backbone of all time. I hate confrontation. I hate sounding like, you know, we were talking about doing a photo project. I almost threw up telling you like, this is how much it's going to be for, you know what I mean? Like I'm so
Yeah.
bad at that kind of stuff. And if it wasn't for people like you in my life, like I would be doing shit all the time, you know, and
I was on the
agree.
other end, like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, totally fair.
Right. And,
That's
and
a lot,
but
but
that's
that's
the thing
fair.
is like, look, like we said it and there's no bad blood and we just fucking move on. And that's just
Right.
how it is. But that's not how my brain was originally, you
Right.
know, because when like, all of my experiences come from high school because that was the last time I was in a cohesive unit of a band.
Mm-hmm.
But like back then, I mean, you would get spat in the face. Like you're a fucking teenager. I'm not going to pay you to do this show. You know what I mean? It's just crazy shit like that. So when now it's like, and anyone who's reached out to me about doing photos has been kind enough to say, how much is it? You know what I
Yes.
mean? No one's expected anything for free skis, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like every time that question's asked to me, I'm like, ugh, like I freak out, you know. And I'm sure you guys have definitely, you know, experienced that for sure.
And with Tell All Your Friends, the other project that I'm running right now, you know Kirsten.
Yeah.
How do you say her last name? Is like Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
So Kirsten actually approached me over my Tell All Your Friends band just on Facebook.
Shout
And
out Dark Star Media.
Ayo. And she was like, hey, you know, I've just picked up a camera. I'll shoot for free. And she was super giving, but I was actually on the other side of it, a little bit uncomfortable to take anything for free. And I was like, okay, we'll go into this agreement, but moving forward, like after,
Right.
you should advocate to get paid for your portion of it.
I said that to you too. I think
Yep.
I don't know if it was at Rebel or if it
don't
was
remember.
before that, but I said the same thing. Like we like working with you. We
Yeah.
want to pay you.
yeah. Yeah.
I just get so giddy, you guys. My whole thing is that it's just like I'm still in the phase where it's just pure excitement. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's like I made like to this day, I don't think I've ever taken as many pictures in one setting that I did at your show. I remember going home. And looking at the count. I think I did like, I swear to God, like 2,000 pictures. You know what I mean? Like, but that's because I get so fucking pumped and I appreciate like the kindness and like the kind words and stuff like that. But I think that's the hump that we all go over is that like where, you know, you want to enjoy it. You want to promote your self-worth, but at the same time, I feel like there's something in a lot of people's brains that make you feel like you're some kind of tyrant because you, in your brain, you feel like you're like, oh, ho, like I'm worth money. And like, it isn't, my time is not free, but that's the truth. And that, and everyone, you know, and I'm sure you guys have experienced it too, where they're like, pay you, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like, and now you have to kind of be like, well, sorry.
Yeah,
you know?
let's think about the equipment, the cost of equipment,
Right.
the time I took off to be here. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It all adds up.
So I'll say this, and you know, with the tour, I'm sure you guys can relate, but you know,
Especially with the tour.
yeah, a few months ago, I actually had not a few months ago, a month ago, I have the opportunity to do a video project that is going to bankroll $2,000, and I had to have like a business meeting. It was so weird, you know. I had to have my price sheets.
You
I
had to have a contract?
I know. I wrote up a contract for the first time ever. You know what I mean? It's just like so out of my comfort zone. But it's also a good thing. It's kind of like, look at us. We're being,
You
being
leveled
a big
up.
kid. Yeah.
You like
yeah,
evolved. It's
Right.
like the next your next Pokemon
yeah.
evolution.
And it's
right
like,
there.
you know, it's like, you know, we shook hands. We just met at a little coffee shop. We left. And it's like, I get it. And I'm just like, and then I get that text. It's just like, hey, I loved your professionalism. I loved what you said. Like, I can't wait to work with you. I was like, oh, I got the job. You know, like it's such a cool feeling. And so it's like, you got to find that perfect balance to feel your self-worth.
Yeah.
Don't ask for too much just yet, but also don't take too little. Take no shit kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because at
It's
the end
tough
of the
out
day,
there.
you got to advocate for yourself.
You got to have some boundaries with it.
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't for the fucking housing crisis, I wouldn't have to have 2 jobs now, would I? It was so funny. I was going to tell you before, this will be the last thing before we go on break, because I love Christian. I couldn't ask for a better co-host, but Christian's whole thing is like, he loves like zany, goofy stories and like stuff like that. When I'm with you, Tyler, like I get so excited to talk about like the issues because like you're one of like my few friends that will have like an opinion on things. And last time you were on the show, we discussed like the housing market or whatever. And like after you left, Christian was like, yeah, don't do that anymore. He's like, I was bored.
It's like, I didn't want to think about that. I'm not trying to think about housing market.
Unfortunately, for a lot of people, I'm a really serious person.
Yeah.
And that is not fun.
For the record, it wasn't a jab at you at all. It's just
Honestly-
he's not used to like, because we run this show very like jock rocky. I mean, you've heard it. You know, we're just a couple fucking men children. You know, it's just how it is. But sometimes my original intention for the show was to be a straight up like chicken soup for the millennial soul. Like I was
there you
prepared,
go.
like I mean, to cry and like shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, for us, like Tyler doesn't get boring. He actually keeps us very anchored in the way that, like, the first time we ever did a podcast as a band, it was only 4 of us because Sam couldn't make it. And oh my gosh, the way that the stories went off the rails, there were inside jokes on inside jokes on inside jokes. It became a comedy special before anything was actually discussed about the band. You got to
There's
know
a lot
who
of
we
talk
were.
about how attracted to Sam we all are.
Yeah, Sam.
Beautiful man.
Thirst Trap. Just gotta say it. Sam, our drummer. Go check us out. Just
That
see what Sam
podcast
looks
was
like.
off the rails, but I tried to keep steering it back to like topical discussions about the band because I thought that's what we were gonna do.
I
Like,
feel
that's
like
what we're here for.
Jesse's one of the horniest men I've ever seen in my life. Because I remember the 2 times
He
I
was hitting
your
on the
podcast.
host.
Oh, dude, I remember
So much.
both times that I was on your show, and I want to make it very clear I didn't find it uncomfortable at all. I love Jesse, but he was just like, "You're a handsome man." I was like, "Oh, thank you."
You're like, I'm blushing. I'm glowing.
thank you.
Support the show. Patreon.com/basementdwellerproductions. Thank you all so much for the support. And now more of the Basement Dwellers.
Rose Music Hall altogether was super good. Rose Music Hall, the venue is like this, the stage is here, and then you got the people all the way to the back. So it was just packed and full, and it was just showing everybody at home, back at home, that's been following and supporting but never got to see Louis on tour because we're all the way in Arizona.
Right.
It was finally their moment to join into this part of my journey, even though they've been supporting from afar. So that Rose Music Hall, just that whole venue, that whole show, that whole day was like the highlight for
That's
me
awesome.
personally.
Well, top that, nerd. What about you?
Yeah,
what was
good
your
luck.
favorite?
Do you have a secret family in Missouri I don't know about?
I would love to see Tyler just rip you a new one. Just here's my better story.
Actually,
Honestly, my favorite thing about tour was just how supportive, and it wasn't one place, how supportive every single stop, like how supportive all the people were. All the people, like every single stop. In Texas, like we had friends that helped us get on that show, and in Oklahoma as well. And then the second show in Oklahoma, like that whole house, they donated to us. So like they gave us money, and then the bands like they gave us money to continue on tour.
God, that's awesome.
And like all the supporting bands at Monica House, they were all really supportive. And then Missouri was definitely the highlight. Like both Columbia and St. Louis, both of those shows and the crowds and like the family, like Sam's family and
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
Sam's family.
I was gonna say there was a situation where Sam's family came out to see a show, right? Like
Yeah,
they were
so
actually able to do that.
Yeah.
St. Louis, Missouri is Sam's stomping grounds. Had a lot of friends up there, friends and family.
I forget
But,
that.
like,
I forget that
Sam's
you guys
family
come
and-
from Kansas City Chiefs territory. Gross, dude.
Sorry.
Sam's
Sorry
family
about
and
it.
Justin's family, her husband, they were all extremely supportive, which is surprising to me.
They gave us showers and places to be.
Yeah, they let us stay there.
You know what? That's super awesome, though. I mean, when you put any kind of differences or like views aside, like I was actually just like I don't know. It was just one of those like Facebook reels I saw. But like, are you guys South Park watchers? Like,
Yeah.
So-so.
enough.
Yeah.
So. Did you ever see the episode, like one of the newer episodes, where like Stan has a band?
No.
Oh, so there's this whole arc in the new South Park season where like Randy moved them all to like a weed farm. So he thinks that like he's just better than everybody because he's like a weed farmer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And everyone in the family hates it. And there's this scene where there's like a local farmer's market going on and Stan's band gets to play. And the band is like Butters, Stan, Kenny, and like Jimmy, you know what I mean? But it's like a death metal band. It's like, so they're just like, all right, so this is their band, something, whatever. And it's like, hey guys, we're going to perform for you. And it's like, you know, and stuff like that. But it's just like, it reminded me of like when I was in high school, because I was in a death metal band. And, you know, no disrespect to my family at all. I would say that I'm blessed enough to have an incredibly supportive family, just with everything I've ever done. But you know, a lot of their views are a little more on the right side, and just stuff that you know I don't really agree with. But like, I will never forget like seeing like my grandma's been to a Reflectionless show, which was just death metal at pub rock. You know what I mean? So it's like it is weird to have like that feeling.
My grandparents used to come and see Elena Avenue, and it was always like mixed bills.
Yeah. And it makes you feel weird because it's kind of like you have like this weird pressure on you. Like I did this really just not crappy show, but like it was a small open mic show. It was an open mic. There was booked comics and I was one of them. But I found out about 30 minutes or an hour before I went on, I found out my dad was going to be there. My dad lives in Utah and he just came to visit. And I got to tell you, like I've never felt sweats before.
Instant sweats.
Instantly. You know what I mean? And it's just cool because you look out there and like I want to throw up, but I look out there, my dad's laughing. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. Like it's weird. Like when you see like that family support, you know, because you don't almost selfishly you don't expect it.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you feel a little bad, like when you do get it, you know.
Yeah.
But I do think that's super incredible that you guys had people in all the way over there that were just so excited to see you guys. Was there anything that was like? Was there any kind of like? Not ups and downs, but was there any kind of trials and tribulations of the tour? Like, was there ever a situation where you're like, fuck, this is a little stressful, or like whether it be like money or just like, I can't find this one fucking thing.
The
like,
first
you know?
night,
First night.
Yeah.
first
Can't
night
find this one fucking thing. The first night
in Texas.
when we couldn't find a place to park the RV. Apparently the RV park we thought we were going to be staying at was not available. So then there was just this like dry scramble for where are we going to park the RV.
Oh yeah, we were calling and it was late, so nobody's available.
It was so late. No one was available.
Was that when we stopped at a truck stop?
Yeah, we actually parked at a truck stop that night because it was just we couldn't find a place to stay.
Oh,
But sorry, was that
what-
not what you were going to say?
No, what I was
thought we
thinking
were on the
of-
same wavelength. I'm
There
so
was
sorry.
the first night in Oklahoma in Norman, we were trying to find parking and we couldn't find parking in our RV with all our gear, and it was raining.
And it was cold.
And it was cold. And it was off and on raining too. So when we loaded in, I think it was raining and then it stopped raining.
Yes.
So we loaded in when it stopped raining and then we loaded out in the rain.
Pouring.
oh my God. That's
Monsoon.
a nightmare.
Monsoon. And it was like the first.
That sucks.
It was
It
cold.
probably wasn't a monsoon for them. It's probably regular.
Oh, fuck.
It was
We're
cold.
just not used
it
to
was
it.
rain. It was the first show. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my voice because I wanted to be out helping load, but I was like, I got to protect the Vox, right?
The whole tour I was thinking, because I'm a vocalist too, like just thinking like, how is
Every single
being
night.
in each different environment affecting me? How is that affecting Shana? Because Shana has worse allergies than me.
Yeah.
Way worse. But it was the worst. I think one of the weird things that I didn't think about, like going into the rain, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be cold, but when we get on the bus, we'll be fine. Oh, the mud. The mud.
yeah.
And we only have like
we had
this
2 dogs
much floor.
too.
You
You
know
can't
what,
really
this
like
is-
we can try to like accommodate for the mud, like take our shoes off and stuff. We can't really do
But then we
much
had
with
to
the
take
dogs.
the dogs to
That's
go
why I'm
outside.
a huge advocate. You know what? I don't care what anyone says, man. The Southwest is where it's fucking at. Like, yeah, it gets hot here, but we don't have humid that much.
Yeah.
We don't have snow. We don't have fucking monsoons. We don't have earthquakes.
Bipolar
Like,
weather. Yeah.
Seriously, like I'm starting to understand it as I grow up. Like, this is why people want to move here a lot. Is because like, yeah, the heat sucks, but like we have the most perfect fucking winters.
Yeah, as long as your AC doesn't go out, you're good.
So let me ask you this. I have a question. I've been dying to ask this question. Did you genuinely believe that they left you at the truck stop?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Oh, see,
Unfortunately, he's so conditioned to this kind of behavior.
They joked about it the entire time. I expected it.
Jesse did a good job. Like, where are you? Like, I thought you were on the bus. I thought you were, but you knew they were fucking with you from the beginning.
You didn't count? That was my first question.
I know that was. I loved that. Yeah, that was my. And everyone in the RV just started cackling. Just you didn't fucking count. That's so funny.
And it's so
They're
good
like,
because
yeah, we should have.
we had my dog there, and we also had Nick's dog there. But the other two additions to the tour that wasn't band members was my husband Justin. He was our driver, and Frankie, Jesse's lady, and she did merch for us, and so they were in on it too. Like
Yeah.
they were so in on
That's
it. Like
awesome.
it felt like this whole like friend group that's just like, let's get him. This is the time.
There was a few pranks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
We told Jesse that the fridge went out for like 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And this
You
kind
have to
of
preface it by saying that Jesse and Frankie bought
They
a
work
lot of
in-
food.
they
They bought
did.
a lot of food preparing to make food.
they
so
also
that
work
could
in the
save
food
money.
industry, and Jesse is like really, really adamant about like food safety.
Mm-hmm.
So we told him the fridge went out for 10 hours and he made a sandwich and threw it out.
Wow.
Dude, and
And
Frank,
we didn't even know he did that either. He just did it. And then he was like, and then we told him we were joking, and he's like, "Oh, guys, I threw out food."
yeah, Frankie was already like, and she's like, wait, what? And then Frankie was like on it. She was just like, okay, into the trash. So
But it
she
was just a
ready to
trash bag
toss.
hanging, so it wasn't like
Yeah, it was a fresh trash
It wasn't
bag.
that much spoilage, but that was. I felt bad about that joke because all of us played in on that.
Yeah.
So that's like the one thing that like I really give you guys kudos for. And this is, I would say, like, I mean, I've got 1,000,001 weaknesses, but my thing is that when it comes to my baby, like just this whole thing, I'm so serious about it. Like if Christian was here, he can contest. That's just like, I don't want to fucking talk to you until I get everything set up. If like I don't think I have OCD, but I have really
It's like
bad,
work
just,
mode.
Right. But it's like, oh, I fucking hate the wires. Like I hate, like in my dream scenario, it's like, that's why I want a studio. It's like, I want, outlets on the floor and not, you know what I mean? Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
how I get when I'm gigging.
my
Like,
biggest
don't fuck with me.
my biggest weakness is if you fuck with me, I'm 100% always going to believe you. So like if I was you, right? And they called me or I called you guys and I was like, where are you? And you were like, oh, we fucking left. I would scream at all of you. Like I'd be like, what the fuck? You fucking, I mean, like I would believe it. Like so that's like when I hear these things, like I die. Like it kills me because I'm just like, I'm the most gullible person of all time.
Yeah.
The problem was that we got everyone in on it,
Yeah.
and we were all very serious about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a joke.
Yeah. No, my favorite thing when I got all this equipment and stuff like that was like, because I love messing with people, but I'm one of those people that's just like, I can take it, but it's like, I'm going to believe you. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But like, I always tell everybody, and like people have told, they're like, oh, you got to release it. I seriously have, like, I'm not joking, like 3 hours of archived, like just prank calls to my family.
That's brilliant.
Like I remember calling like my aunt Chrissy. She's one of my favorite people of all time. She's just a super cool aunt. You know what I mean? Cool aunt, you know? And she goes, I call her. I never call her. She's like, oh, hey, wow, it's super nice to hear from you. How you doing? I was like, I fucked up. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I got my ex-girlfriend at the time. It's like, I got her pregnant. And she immediately, it's the whole family. They believe it. She's like, do you need me to drive you to the fucking place? Like, what are we talking like?
what do you need? I'm in.
So I love the prank mentality.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love it. But the
Yeah.
problem is that I'm going to believe you every single fucking time.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about your dynamic is that you guys are all like siblings. Like you guys all fuck with each other. And it's
Yeah.
just like, but it's in a nice way. There's no, at least from the outside looking in, there doesn't seem to be like a superiority complex with anybody. Like it doesn't seem like someone feels like they're in charge. Which is really funny because I also think of like that little jam band I had in the same practice studio.
Yeah.
Do you know Izzy? Have you ever heard of him or know of him? Izzy? Izzy, he was he moved now. He's in California, but he had a practice.
Did I
studio.
meet him there?
I don't remember if you did or not.
Him and
because-
Tyler started a project, right?
Right. But I remember.
I don't think I ever met him.
But who is he?
So who is he? Oh, he's an amalgam. Honestly, if you guys haven't watched that episode, I believe it's episode 68, something in the 60s with him, but the dude's he's a fucking creature. Like the guy just has a story for everything. But there was at one point where he came in as like the singer or whatever, and he goes, okay, so I gotta know, like, who's in charge of this band? I have never felt the lack of alpha energy in a room. Like we all tucked our tails between our legs. We're like, no one.
It's funny
when
when we get that question. We got it at Timeout Lounge. The owner was like, "You're in charge, right?" I was like, no. Like none of us are in charge. We are a collective, and we act as a collective, and we acknowledge us as a collective.
And that's why when you asked like who would want to come on the show, like out of the two, who would want, and I said, oh my gosh, let's not even get started. You just pick the two, because if we stood in a room and said, who should be the people to come on and represent the band first? Like, who should be able to get that first one? Everyone would be like, well, I don't know. Maybe
I mean,
Sam.
in regards to that, I was like, yeah, me.
No, man, just like
Tyler was all in it, though.
Yeah, Tyler and I have the most chemistry out of obviously everybody, but it's just like it's you guys and the local death metal band Exiled Martyr, if you've ever heard of them. Like I just know all those dudes, and like so it's just like I can definitely see like this is not the last time that you guys like are as a collective.
We got to get Sam
show.
on.
Exactly. Like I want Jesse on. Like I want fucking Jesse's unhinged ass on this show.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
You know, like it's just like you guys. Like I geek out. Like because I'm just like that's so fucking cool. How cool you are. Like because I think it was just my dynamic, but it's just like I have memories of just like before shows being like, God, this person's such a fucking douchebag. Like, you know what I mean? And they're in our band. You know what I mean? And it's just like that doesn't seem to exist with you guys.
Like a band member that you had?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I refuse to say his particular name, but we actually joked about this when Ianthe came on because like, so, you know, I would like to say that I have some kind of outreach now. Like I've been doing this show long enough to like for people to know about us a little bit.
Yeah, and your photography stuff has been getting you a lot of notoriety.
Yeah, and you know, like that's cool and all, but like I would still say the main conglomerate of people who listen were me and Christian's high school friends. So it's really funny when we talk about stories from high school with like people who will not be named because most of our fan base knows exactly who the fuck we're talking about, but I still go as far to not say their names. But yeah, there's particular band members, and I'm just like, God, what a fucking... Which is really funny because I just did the
I
Rit.
try to respect that. Yeah. Jesse doesn't always do that.
There was I just did a shoot for the band The Rit. I actually had Esteban, their singer, guitar player, on the podcast. But like I met a dude outside who was doing photography for another band, and this person knew about the person that I talk shit about all the time, and they were also like, "Yeah, like, you got fucking weird." I'm just like, "I know." Like it's like I'm starting to just like make friends off of just like the weirdness of just like that band. So it's like when I see, you know what it feels like to me in a weird way. It feels like I'm looking at a band that came from like a well-established like home. And I have like the shitty I'm adopted home because like I've never known that band dynamic like you guys have, and that's so cool.
We definitely did not come like individually. No.
Yeah.
We just trauma bonded and collectively built that family.
I guess I'm more so saying that like I've never experienced like you guys like are just all of you guys go together like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, it's just like the dynamic. I've never seen a band dynamic as tight as Louis on tour. Yeah. So I geek out. Like, it's just like, I'm a huge fan of you guys, which I'm sure you guys hear all the time, but it's just like, not even your music.
I don't get it. We all kind of suck. Especially Shana.
Especially me. Yeah. Like the worst, the absolute worst. I think that the dynamic has its ebbs and flows. It has its seasons, right? Like there's some times that like, I think it's important for anybody that's in a band or wanting to work like in a group setting like that to understand that like, life has seasons, and sometimes a band member is going to be going through a season. And if you don't actually get in there to figure out like what's going on with your buddy, then you could honestly start resenting them for something you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Like they're not pulling their weight, but like, are you asking why?
Exactly. And so like from the outside looking in, it's so nice to hear that like it doesn't look like there's any issues or there never has been, but it's just come with like intense intention and communication.
Cool band name. I call it.
Intense intention.
Sounds like a death metal band.
The coolest death metal band. I don't mean to cut you off. But
totally
the coolest name I ever heard is I texted Christian. Right next to the Rebel Lounge is a gym, like a CrossFit gym called Die Trying, and I was like, damn, that's our hardcore band name.
That sounds like a post-hardcore band.
Yeah, that sounds sick as shit, right?
I just saw a band name like 2 days ago called. It's like the best one ever. They call themselves the Screaming Tater Tots.
I love it.
And I don't know if that's a local band or if I saw that somewhere in Columbia, but
kind of reminds me of like that band that just disbanded called Oakley Dokley, like the Ned Flanders
Oh,
band.
that's
yeah,
the
you know.
best.
But the
They had
best
such a cool shtick.
we had
Such a cool
we
shtick.
had Casey on, Casey from Goblin Magazine. We had her
Oh,
on
yeah.
for an episode.
You had her on?
Oh yeah, I had her on. It was a great episode. It's one of my favorites.
I think last time I was talking to you about that, it was still up in the air on whether she was going to come or not.
It's actually pretty funny because people who listen to that, I woke up to like 5 texts because I release every episode Friday at midnight, and so like I wake up to like my mom's like my craziest but #1 fan. So like she always has like some kind of like input to say, and I love it. But it's like I had her and like 3 other people be like, "Wow, that's the first person that's ever like talked over you." Like it's just like she like came in, but she had a lot of smart things to say, you know. But
what it talked over you? Like
oh well, it's just like if I'm like in the middle of something and like you know, it's just like she would like chime in.
Oh,
and it's just,
okay.
but like it wasn't just like nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
trying to like correct it or
Yeah,
like,
exactly. But it was just like people like always like chime in. It's like, oh wow, Jacob's authority got questioned. I don't know how you can feel about that. It is weird, but
I'm an
because
impulsive
you have the
talker,
power
too.
because it's your show.
right.
Is that what it is?
No, it's just more so because so like I hate bringing this up. I don't know why I always bring it up, but like I don't care who knows it. Like one of my worst enemies who doesn't even know I exist is Bert Kreischer. Like the comedian Bert Kreischer. I don't know if you've are
Yeah,
familiar
oh,
with
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. Because I love his podcast, like especially Two Bears, One Cave, because I'm obsessed with Tom Segura. Tom Segura was the reason why I started doing comedy and the reason why I started doing my podcast, right?
You met him once, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I actually tried to
You,
buy him
you
a-
told that story at my podcast.
Yeah,
on my
I tried to buy him a drink, and he was like, "Dude, I get drinks for free." And I was like, 2 tequila shots for." Anyways, but like, I feel bad because I have this problem that I get so excited. Like, you can tell a story about this one time I went to Six Flags, and you know what I mean. But because I have a story about Six Flags, I'd be like, "Hold on, I gotta tell you about my story." And it's just
And
like,
if I don't, I'm gonna forget it, and it's so
exactly.
important.
And I feel horrible about it because like, I'm trying to be a good interviewer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I get so fucking excited.
I impulsively talk too. My friends like my friends in high school, like I'm doing it right now.
Right, yeah.
Like when we went to college, we actually realized it's really rude to cut people off, but we thought that was like the vibe. Like you just raise your voice
Hey,
a
Tyler,
little
I'm
louder.
just kidding.
You just talk a little bit louder, and you just
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
don't. I'll become more reserved,
Oh,
and
no,
then
I-
I'll be like, oh, they don't want me to talk.
Can I tell you? Can I
I
be?
don't give people a
Can
choice.
I got to be real with you guys for a second.
Be real.
Speaking
Let's
of
do
that, dude, there are some times because I love you, like you're a good friend and stuff like that. There are so many times I
Are you
just
about
wanna,
to
like,
talk shit?
No,
Here we
no,
go.
No, actually, but I'm actually going to talk more shit about the people around you in this particular situation. So at the Oasis house, I felt so bad because like you were trying to get your like to say something, and there were a bunch of people that were just like talking right over you
At Oasis house.
at Oasis house. Yeah, at the show, like not
Like in a
a
cash
not like
combo.
not in like a dickish way, but it's like you talk so like melancholy and quietly that it's like I think it's just social contract that maybe they've had a few drinks, I don't know, but they like talk over you, and it happened like I know while I was taking pictures of you guys, I noticed it like multiple times, and I wanted to like pull you aside and be like, "Hey, buddy, what do you want to talk about? Like I got you, man."
I do want to hear
Like
that
you're
story
so
about
sweet.
your
Like
socks.
you're so sweet.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but I also like have learned with you specifically. It's like when you were doing your podcast, which by the way, still one of my favorites. I still go back and listen to a lot of episodes.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I miss it. I miss it all the time. And
I
I
miss
know
it
I
so
know that
much.
you're so busy, and I know that you've got so many things going on. But I miss it. I thought you had a great show. But you do this thing where you have learned to just quietly just keep talking. Like if people just shut up. Like, so you have that secret power, but there was just that show at the Oasis house. I was just like, oh.
I've also figured out if I want to say something, I can talk to you, and I can talk to you,
Yeah.
and I can get the point across
Yeah.
collectively.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's power in numbers,
Yeah.
and I'm better one-on-one, so I'll get the point across, but it's going to take a little bit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it gives me anxiety. Like as a 5-piece band, it's just like I have to imagine there has to be times where all of you at one time are just trying to talk about something during band practice, or like we should do this
Yeah.
or this. And it's just like it gives me anxiety.
Yeah, it's our Achilles heel when we start organizing.
That'd be Nick and Shanna, and then Jesse has something, and,
then
then
Jesse's
Sam's
talking
like,
to
"Oh,
Sam.
what about this?"
And then Tyler's like, but I
Wait.
could. And then I
Okay.
and then I'm like, what was that, Tyler? And then Tyler says something really quietly, and then all of a sudden Jesse starts talking about something completely different. It's just it's a bag of crazy cats in there.
And then out of nowhere,
Five different personalities.
Out of nowhere,
Yeah.
the drummer just starts playing drums, and we're like, "Hey, shut up, dude!
Hey,
I'm trying
could
to."
you stop
He's
that?
pretty good about not doing that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's honestly, like, I've been in a few projects in my life, and I got to tell you, as a guitar player, selfishly, I don't even want to fucking hear you play anything until it's time to play.
Yeah.
So funny because no one.
The drums are so fucking loud.
Oh, I know.
But
intense.
we wear earplugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys did, but we always wear earplugs.
It's so funny because
Except Jesse.
because Andy, when I was in that little jam band, our band was Time Machine. We're actually on Spotify, and that was something we talked about on Izzy's
Really?
podcast. I had no idea he put our shitty EP on Spotify. It sucks. I'll show you if you want, but it fucking
Oh, I'm
sucks.
in it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna deep dive on it.
Yeah, but
I didn't know you guys had anything.
But it
out.
was so funny because like Andy, the bass player, was kind of like the dad of the group, and he always brought earplugs for us. And it's just like I'm pretty close to being deaf as it is. So like, yeah, I mean, probably should have done that.
I still
show
the
up to-
in-ears double as earplugs.
yeah, and I still show up to gigs like to do photos and stuff, and I'm like, here's the monitor, and I'm still no fucking earplugs. You know what I mean? And then I have that little scare when
The
I'm
next day you have like a concert.
It's
band
honestly
over.
when I'm in my car and I have like my music playing. I'm like, well,
have
that
to-
sounds really muffled. Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is the time. This is finally happening.
I don't know about you guys, but I have like a specific set volume that I know, like if I'm crossing this boundary, like it's like 18 or 16 or 18 or something, or like 24. Like if I'm crossing that, I know my hearing has been deteriorated from the night.
Yeah. Mm-mm. This is why my friends are the nicest people of all time, because I know for a fact that like most friend cliques, it's like, you have friends A, B, C, and D, and like your friend A leaves, B, C, and D got something to say about A, vice versa. I'm a huge advocate for like
Ooh, gossip.
Yeah, I know, and it's like if you got something for me, like just like tell me. But also I'm a big baby, so if you tell me, I'll cry. But
So
like,
tell me nicely.
yeah, so tell me nicely. And I know for a fact that my biggest thing is that like I have no control of my fucking voice, especially when I've been drinking or smoking weed. And like I said, I think it's because I was an only child until I was like 11, which in my opinion, bad on my parents for giving me a fucking sibling at 11. Keep in mind, I'm a child of divorce. So like from like 4 to 11, I had 2 fucking Christmases, 2 birthdays, and then this little shit comes along.
The
You know what I
ego
mean?
on this man is
and
huge.
so I think that I've just been naturally trained to just be like, look at me.
Wait,
And this-
what? It was man baby, something man baby,
What?
or what? You had something that was like man baby,
Man child?
man child.
Yeah, that's us. Homie, your favorite. That's my motto. Homie, your favorite man child. It's
Yeah.
Jacob, the basement dweller. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, yeah, I've always had like that only child like voice inflection,
Yeah.
and that's the other reason why I feel like I can't be in a band, because it's just like I have been trained to feel like my opinion and my voice is the one that matters the fucking most, and I don't mean that at all. Like
Yeah.
I want to hear, like if I was in your band, I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah.
but also me first.
Yeah,
Like, you know
but
I mean?
what I have to say is pretty important because I thought about it. I spent some time. Yeah.
So and I'll kind of come back to it. Like knowing that you guys are in a 5-piece band now, it's like it gives me anxiety because I'm just like I at one point I would just fucking
Me too,
break.
same.
And therapy and medication has taught me that it's like I can't do this. But there were times, dude, even in that 3-piece band, where I was just like, shut the fuck up. Like it's just like, please, like let me get my fucking point. And so it's like I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, it really just comes down like just intention. Like you have to put the energy into being somebody that knows that, like, if you wanted to make a whole band around your music, just you, then you can go be a producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they make medi pads for that. You can make your own music. But what really makes this band so good is because it's coming from 5 different angles. 5 different people bring something in.
Which
And
is great.
And the minute you start abusing that and forgetting that all 5 opinions matter, then it just gets so disheveled and crazy. But I will say, like, with working with other artists in the past, like, it really just comes down to having friends before having fellow musicians.
Well, it definitely seems like you guys
Like
enjoy your
within
time.
the group or with like outside of the group.
Like, what do you like? The band, like,
Oh, us
you
as
have to
friends.
be friends before. Like, for example, like if something were,
I don't feel like that's always the case.
What do you mean?
Like sometimes it's more like I put up with everyone because of the project. Not gonna lie.
Well, it does. Well, that's a boundary thing, maybe. I guess
It's a balance, but
yeah.
like sometimes it's more like what is the good of the group, because sometimes I don't feel like a friend. But
Well, we're doing our best. We're doing our best.
You
here.
are doing your damnedest.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly, the secret sauce to doing that kind of stuff is still hanging out outside of band practice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and no disrespect to.
I mean,
you know.
it's not just like it's my part, but it's also other people's
Right.
parts, and like it's a balance, you know.
Well, my point with that was more like along the lines of like, for example, my dad has dementia, and I've had to emergency fly home for certain medical things. Like if my dad were to, like pass away, I would have to go and be home dealing with that stuff for about a month. And it doesn't matter where we are with the music project. Like it really just takes having friends
Yes.
that understand me and
Right.
my needs and actually want to support me in that way, instead of being like, well, that sucks because now we're going to be behind on recording. Or
Yeah.
like, we're just not that minded.
Like in that regard, the group would definitely respect that.
and we make a lot of space for that stuff
And I envy
too.
that because if I can be absolutely honest with you, there is a part of my brain that in that situation, I would feel that way. I would feel like, are you fucking serious, dude? Like, and that's why.
I mean, I'm sure the thought would come up.
The
but
thought
like,
would come up, but it's so quickly,
Yeah.
like the friendship is so much more important that the pain
Yeah.
for
And
the
that's
person
great.
is.
I mean, you got to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Like, what if that was your family? Like,
I'm
you
so
would.
bad at that. I'm so fucking bad at that.
and it also takes
Empathy? Come
Yes.
on, Jake.
Yeah. It's called
empathy, dude.
autism. No. No, man. Like, and I think that's solid because I'm comfortable enough with my own emotions to. I'm not. I mean, it's funny, but I'm not trying to be funny when I say genuinely. It's just like that is my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Is empathy
Yeah.
because it's just like when you're on a project. I'm so obsessed with being number one or being the best or being on top of
Driven.
things that when that stuff happens, I have this thing in my brain that it's just like, of course this would fucking happen
Yeah,
right
now everything
Yeah.
is sidelined. What am I going to do?
Right. And
Yeah.
and so I really I think that's cool. I mean, I know we kind of sound like a broken record now because we keep coming back to it, but like the friendship that you guys have, like that's so fucking sweet. Because I have been a part of projects where it's just like no one would give a fuck about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I think that I've just been kind of trained to feel the same way.
I haven't, I guess. Yeah, I really haven't. Like even the other projects I've had, like those were my friends that I built projects around. Like I can't imagine having a project where it was like so transactional.
I want to speak to just like something that happened about 6 months ago with a project that I had, and it's an example of how this goes so south so fast. I did have a life event that needed to kind of be a boundary was set around, and in that project that I was in, it was so transactional. I was working with people that were, had played in like stadiums, like was so used to the fast track that when it came to anything that would slow down the momentum of the band, it was immediately there was a target on me. And unfortunately, that was a season where my mental health was just struggling, and I just needed to say my piece and let it be. And it turned into you can say that you lack the empathy and you're sad for the band, but then there's no band.
Yeah.
Because if you start plucking the petals off your friends just to make your dreams come alive, you're going to find that, well, you're now going to be 6 months behind because you have to train a new musician because you lost other ones.
Right.
And so it's like, it is a delicate balance of like, if you don't take care of it, you just don't get to keep it. Like those bands, like
I mean,
people stay
obviously-
and they're miserable. That sucks, but that doesn't last.
Obviously, you need dedicated people to be a part of the project. Like that, obviously, that if they aren't involved, then why are you there?
Yeah.
Right. And that's
But,
one thing that I
like,
give,
you got to have that balance. Like,
Right. Well, that's one thing I give you kudos for is that one time I invited you to come hang out with the fucking jam band, and with no fucking hesitation, Tyler was just like,
I'm there.
no, he
well,
was
I mean,
like,
I was there.
he was there,
it
but
was
like also he was just like, hey, can we like make our own music and not just covers? And I was like, I don't know how to do that. And that was the last time we ever saw him. Like it's just like, so you got.
well, I mean, I told you guys like I'm looking for something more serious. So
which was definitely not us.
And then
all
the
three of
date
us
ended.
all three of us had big boy jobs. Like this was just to kind of blow off some steam once a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I had
it's
a
like,
big
And that's
boy
totally
job.
fine.
Actually, I didn't at that time.
yeah. So shit.
I guess technically I don't now. Sorry, Dad and Mom.
You can have 5 different mindsets, but as long as all 5 people are going for the same end goal, then it should pan out. You know, like how you're kind of like, yeah, we're just a jam band. Like you were at peace knowing that you were just a jam band.
It was cool. I
You
definitely
didn't have one
like,
person that was trying to make that like a famous band because
I
that's
learned
where you start having.
I learned that Mom Jean song just because of that band, and I really liked learning that.
Yeah.
I've never
So
like
cringe.
I've always gone like the original route. I never like wanted to do covers, but as I've grown as a musician, I'm like, oh fuck, I need to do that.
I remember Tyler texting me and be like, hey, I'm trying to learn this Mom Jean songs, but also these lyrics are so cringe, dude. Like, I was like, wow, cool, man. That's not even my band. Thanks. Awesome.
I liked the song. I did.
Hey, man, I like you.
Oh, thanks. I like you too.
Guys, I can keep talking.
Shanna, can you leave?
Guys, I can keep talking all night long, but unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to start wrapping up here. It has been so fucking. Hey, you guys don't have to leave, but you can't stay here. No, I'm just kidding. But I like to. I'm a tried and true hour and a half person.
I've started ending my karaoke shows with "Get the fuck out."
Closing time.
The bartenders always laugh at it.
Yeah, it has been. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. Just having you guys on, it's been so cool. Tyler will be on fucking 8 more times. in the
Whenever
next
you
2
want
years.
me,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
here.
This is the part of the show where I will say, like, if you guys have any plugs, fire away.
All right, that's Tyler's job.
So we actually didn't mention that we are working on 4 new tracks.
4 new tracks.
First one, Shaman Mama. Then we've got You Don't Get It, Dusty Mullet, and Whatchamacallit. Those are hopefully...
Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, all of those
No,
are the titles.
What you call it? Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
We like really weird titles.
I like it.
It's a callback to the early 2000s, like Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco kind
Sure.
of weird shit.
Man, we talk about, oh my God, those fucking, yeah. I used to make the joke that like, when I was making like Midwest emo music, I was like, I just want to have like ridiculous names. Like I remember I made a full song, just guitar. It was a full song that was called, Dude, Have You Seen My Lighter? You're the last person that had it.
Such a good song title.
That's a good one.
So don't steal it. I'll fucking sue you. So,
That's a quote.
Your
that is
lighter or the song
so
title?
used. Another song title. Like I will say.
Midwest Cry Fest was actually, that's a song title, but we named our tour after that
Yeah.
song title.
Yeah.
But we have those 4 songs. One of them is recorded. The other 3 we're trying to record throughout the course of the year. We're coming with a music video for Shaman Mama.
Yeah, people need to know Shaman Mama has been recorded and it's done,
Yes.
and we're just sitting on it. We're just we know a secret that y'all don't know until we get the music video done.
It's been hard. Like, it's been a year since we recorded anything and released it, and just sitting on all this, knowing that it's all coming, and like how much work we put in, it's hard.
Yeah.
what about socials?
Socials, you can find us at Louis_on_tour_band on Instagram. It's at Louis on Tour Band, I think, on Twitter, and Louis on Tour, I think you can just search on Facebook. I think that covers them all.
Yeah, that was super good. Good job, Tyler.
Any
I'm so glad I didn't
any
have to do
upcoming
that.
shows that we should know about?
Ooh. I think the next one is
Let
May
me
17th
confirm
at
the
the Trunk
date.
Space.
Yeah, Trunk Space is coming up, and we're also playing Groundworks in Tucson. I can get you those.
That's going to be May
dates.
You know what?
27th.
28 years of life, and I've still never been to Tucson, Arizona.
So
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
it is May 17th for Trunk Space and May 28th for Groundworks in Tucson. Those are our 2 shows coming up.
Well, shout out Trunk Space, R.I.P. Andy Warpigs. That was his favorite place to perform, and that's going to be awesome. I love that venue because
We've
it's
never
very-
played there. We've actually never played at either of them.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Gonna
First
be
time in Tucson.
May 17th, that's the day before my birthday. So, to the general public, I do accept cash birthday gifts. Come to
New
that
guitar
show.
amps,
Also-
Zildjian
also-
cymbals.
Jump out of a birthday cake for me, pretty please.
That show is all ages, and it is on a Wednesday. So please tell a bunch of people about it, because Wednesday is not a great night.
We just want to pack it out so that Tyler can crowd surf.
Well, if it's on a Wednesday,
It's hard to crowd surf with one person, right, Tyler?
Trunk Space is an interesting
carrying you.
spot to try to crowd
I'll
surf.
carry you. I'll carry you to the ends of time, Tyler. Don't
You
worry.
could. I'm pretty light.
I'll definitely be there. Don't worry. On the May 17th, that's a Wednesday, dude. That's my day off. I got you.
Hey,
Really?
Yeah,
Hey,
of
that
hey.
works.
Yeah, you guys kill me with all your.
Well, then you can
That's
carry
not our
Tyler
day
while he
off.
crowd surfs.
I'll
You
just
could be
put
the
him
one.
in. Yeah, you guys, it's been so fucking awesome to have you on. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
very
having
much.
us.
And
Thank you.
everyone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. Episode 81 in the books. I love you, and so does Christian. Unfortunately, he's not here, but we'll see you next week.
We love Christian.
Bye bye. Awesome.
If you like what you heard, type it to their Instagram and Twitter. The information's right below with their email.
It's time you bit the bullet and started caring about something with all your heart and energy.
Be sure to log into the channel by subscribing and check out the previous episodes. But until then, we'll see you next week with a new one. We out for now. We out for now.